Hello, Education 1030 students. I hope everyone is having a great week. So, last week we really finished up taking our first exam, and we also completed our first Unit 1 capstone. Now, remember, these capstones are sort of like our midterms, they're counting as our midterms. So, really, it was a big reflection paper, right? A written analysis about what you've learned from the chapters so far when we did Unit 1. So, we're going to go ahead and get into Unit 2, which is Chapter 5. So, this week you should be working in Chapter 5. The big focus this week is really getting the most out of your class. Like, how are you engaging with class when you go to class, or even if you're taking an online course? So, are you being present? What are your engagement strategies look like? Can we apply some engagement strategies that might help you focus more? Also, when you're going through and reading chapter 5 and going through the content, I really want you to go back and look at chapter 4 and w- looking at what type of learner you are, because I want you to make connection using those strategies to help you engage, to listen better, participate, thinking back into what you should be doing before you come to class. Is that note taking? What should you do while you're in class? And then what should you do after class? So you're going to read chapter 5. Again, our focus is really for you to look at how you are engaging in class and getting the most. So we say you can be present in body, but you need to be present in mind. And what does that look like? What does real engagement look like? And what strategies can you try to incorporate to help you? So for obviously for our chapter 5, I want you to go back and look at completing those reading organizers, right? Those are what we call notes, right? So review notes for those chapters. They really help you not only study for the quiz, but they're outlining the most important things that you should be getting out of the chapter, which helps you engage with the content. So make sure that you go back and fill that out. Another thing that I want you to do is when you are in chapter 5, I want you to also pull up your PowerPoints. So the PowerPoint really connects with the textbook. That's why I always tell you to read the textbook first. Then we're going to look at those slides, and those slides are really going to help you make those connections and even complete your reading organizer. I also have a video here for you. This is optional video. This is really taking it a step further in how do you prepare for class discussions or in class lectures. Well, you have to learn how we take notes, right? So what does that look like depending on what type of learner you are? And also, it really depends on what type of class you're in of how you're going to take notes and prepare for those lectures. So this is a really beneficial video. So I want everyone to watch that. After you do all that, of course, for your assignments this week, you're going to be looking at you're doing your quiz, but you're also going to be looking at a second video. And this is really going to connect to the first video of preparing for lectures. But how do you actually take notes in class? And what are the 5 best systems? After you watch that, you're going to use it to complete the discussion board. So the discussion board really is getting you to go and make connections with what you did based on your learning style in chapter 4 last week. And then you're also going to be looking at how do I use what type of learner I am and relate that to taking notes, figuring out which style am I most comfortable with and which style works best for you and what class you're in at that time. And you will have to remember you have to respond to at least 2 other classmates' discussion boards. I also wanted to make a note, guys. A lot of times I'll grade these and I'll respond and make comments. If someone is responding, please respond back to them. They may ask you a question. I might put something on there. I want you to go back and look at the responses. That's part of engaging since this is not an in-person class and this is online. Just it's a good idea for you to get in the practice of going back to the discussion, seeing what I've put, seeing what have other people put, what was their response, and that is more along the lines of using those engagement strategies. You also have your chapter 5 quiz that you will be taking, so please make sure that you do that as well. All right, guys, so that's basically what we're going to be doing this week. Please make sure to reach out should you have any questions. I hope you guys have a great week.